Coming up on SportsNight.
Lacrosse continues to surge after their Big Ten title clinching win.
Men's basketball has 2 incoming transfers. More on their impact for the upcoming season.
And we traveled to the Diamond to catch up with the Cardiac Cats, who head into a big weekend series against Washington.
What a time to be a Boston sports fan. Celtics up 2-0, the Patriots are picking 4th tonight, and most importantly, the Heat are down 2-0. But hey, Gabi, don't worry. I'm sure once they head back to your hometown, things should turn around.
Hey, I wouldn't be so confident about your Celtics there. Do you need me to remind you what happened 2 years ago?
No. It's all good, Gabi. Trust me. I remember that was a tough night in my house. Anyways, I still have hope for the Patriots tonight. They're drafting 4th, and I'm holding out for Travis Hunter.
Well, Calvin, we have a loaded show tonight, and there's no better way to kick off draft night than with Sports Night right now. Welcome back to Sports Night, everyone's favorite pre-draft show. I'm Gabi, Egozi, alongside Calvin Lemley, and we are ecstatic to kick off an exciting night in sports.
You couldn't be more right, Gabi. It's been a great week for me. Can't say the same for you. And it's not just a big night for the NFL. There's a lot happening with Northwestern sports that we must get to.
We kick things off with one of the most explosive lacrosse teams in the country, who had an impressive week, to say the least.
After last Thursday's attendance record-breaking contest against Michigan at home, lacrosse traveled to Columbus, Ohio on Saturday to take on the Buckeyes and ultimately wrap up the regular season.
The number 3 ranked Northwestern women's lacrosse squad ventured out to Columbus on Saturday to round out the regular season against the Buckeyes. Ohio State had lost 6 games in a row here in the first. The Buckeyes passing it around, they get it to Leah Sachs, and her shot rolls in by Delaney Schweitzer. Ohio State goes up 1-0. 8 minutes later, Northwestern still down. Lauren Archer gets it to graduate attacker Riley Campbell. She jukes the Ohio State defender and scores to tie the game at 1 apiece. On to the second quarter, the Cats get it to graduate attacker Nikki Miles, who goes right over the goalie to give Northwestern another goal. She racked up 4 scores and 2 assists on the afternoon. Fast break opportunity with 2 minutes to go in the half. Campbell drops the ball, scoops it back up, and finds Madison Taylor. She outworks the Buckeyes defender, and her score is the second goal of the day. Midway through the third quarter, Miles finds Campbell. Campbell catches the entire Ohio State defense asleep. She sneaks the ball in to extend the Northwestern lead to 4. As usual, the afternoon belonged to Taylor. Lucy Monroe gets it to Taylor here. She draws the goalie out and puts the score in behind her. Taylor had a double hat trick and 4 assists on Saturday. Only 6 minutes left in the game, but not Ohio State quitting yet. Leah Sachs easily converts this free position to get herself a hat trick against one of the top defense in the nation. But the outcome of the game had been decided for a while. Northwestern beats Ohio State 20-12 to end the regular season undefeated in the Big Ten. The Cats boast a 6-game winning streak and a 14-2 final record. Northwestern now looks forward to kicking off postseason action tomorrow in College Park as they face number 9 ranked Johns Hopkins in the semifinal round of the Big Ten tournament.
Ahead of NFL Draft Night for many Northwestern football alumni, Sports Night caught up with former Northwestern quarterback Ryan Helinski on Pro Day to get an inside look at his preparations and college career. Sports Night's Griffin Senyek has the story.
On March 18th, Northwestern football hosted its annual Pro Day in Ryan Fieldhouse, with 10 Wildcats, including Xander Mueller and A.J. Henning, putting on impressive performances in front of NFL scouts. One NFL draft hopeful might come as a surprise to Wildcat fans. Graduate quarterback Ryan Helinski participated in Pro Day festivities with an eye on extending his football career.
I finally feel athletic, like I can run a little bit. But jokes aside, I felt great out there today. Felt like we trained, we prepared. I was training with Coco, Ben, and Jalen, and those guys came in and put in the work day in, day out. And we just wanted to leave no regrets.
Helinski was a 4-star recruit out of high school and committed to South Carolina. In 2 seasons as a Gamecock, he threw for 2,391 yards and 11 touchdowns before realizing through his Christian faith and relationship with God that he needed a change.
I stopped praying. I stopped going to church. I stopped, being nice to certain people. And thank God he got me, and he humbled me pretty quick, and he sent me to Northwestern. He met Coach Fitzgerald, who's one of the best dudes I know. Met a bunch of dudes here that are amazing.
Helinski's career as a Wildcat was turbulent. He appeared in 9 games his first season in Evanston before earning the starting gig out of camp in 2022 and leading the Cats to a win over Nebraska in Ireland. Later that same season, Helinski was benched and did not start for Northwestern in his final 2 years of eligibility.
I wish I won more games here, more than anything. I mean, that's all we want to do, right? We want to win and be remembered for that.
Despite the lack of playing time over the past 2 seasons, Helinski wasn't going to let that stop him from chasing an opportunity at the next level, a decision that Northwestern football head coach David Braun admires.
His desire and willingness to say, you know what, I've always dreamt of playing in the NFL. I certainly have the arm talent to do it. You know, I want to prepare myself to show up at Pro Day and compete with my teammates and give this thing one last shot is something I'm really proud of Ryan that he made the decision to do.
Helinski's focus outside of football at South Carolina and Northwestern was on making an impact in the community. Ryan founded the Helinski's Hope Foundation in 2018 alongside his family in honor of his late brother Tyler to raise awareness for mental health and help student athletes across the country.
We're doing a lot of actually legislative stuff as of late. That's why we haven't made a lot of noise, but I just know that with that dollar sign, it puts a value on kids. And I think those kids will have a hard time with it. So I think we're needed now more than ever, to be honest.
As Helinski leaves Evanston, he closes the door on a college football career that was full of ups and downs, but leaves excited for what his future holds both on and off the field.
It's been a crazy process, but man, I'm thankful for it because I've learned a hell of a lot, and I've met a lot of good people.
From Ryan Fieldhouse, Griffin Senyek, NNN Sports.
Thanks, Griffin. Wishing all of the Northwestern football draftees good luck tonight and this weekend.
When we come back, more on both Northwestern tennis programs who each receive bids to their respective Big Ten tournaments.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to the show. We are about 20 minutes away from the start of the draft. And Gabi, I was wondering, if you were to be drafted, what team would you want to go to?
I think I'm going to have to say the LA Rams. Fun city, bright lights, and catching passes from Matthew Stafford. Honestly, couldn't ask for a better outcome.
Hey, what's wrong with New England? You sure you don't want to continue to endure the harsh winters and snow? I'm telling you, Gabi, this is the year we turn it around. Anyways, on the note of improving, Northwestern basketball has some transfers who come in with hopes of helping the Cats reach the tournament once again.
Max Green and Jaden Reed have decided to take their talents to Evanston and help out the Wildcats as two new skilled additions. Miguel Muñoz joins us now in the side studio to break down their potential contributions to the team.
Yeah, thanks guys. The Florida Gators may have just won the national championship and busted my bracket less than a month ago, but next season is already in full swing with the transfer portal. And now that the portal has officially closed as of Tuesday, the Cats have come away with 2 new guys so far. But who are they and how do they fit into the Chris Collins scheme? First, let's back up a little and compare the Cats' portal haul to the rest of the pack. Nationally speaking, Northwestern ranks 70th in the country right now, according to 247 Sports Rankings. They bring in 2 new guys in Jaden Reed and Max Green, both of whom are ranked as 3-star prospects in the portal, although they've got a trio of guys leaving as well. Conference-wise, the Wildcats are ranked 14th out of 18 teams in the Big Ten. Now, that may not seem like very good at a glance, but there's a lot to consider there. First of all, the Big Ten is stacked in the portal. 10 of 18 teams in the conference rank among the top 50 teams nationally in the portal. Furthermore, Northwestern isn't losing as many guys as some other teams, allowing them fewer open roster spots. Nevertheless, Northwestern will be saying goodbye to a few guys from this past season. Joining a popular trend in today's NCAA, Keenan Fitzmaurice entered the portal without any eligibility left in hopes that he'll be granted another year. To this point, though, the Graduate Center hasn't yet found a new home. Now, rising senior Luke Hunger is also on his way out the door, leaving the Cats after a midseason injury this season saw a significant decrease in minutes for the rest of his year. He'll be on his way to George Washington for the next couple of years. And lastly, Blake Barkley is headed back closer to home as he joins East Tennessee State in hopes of making a bigger impact than he got the chance to in Evanston. But let's focus on the guys that NU will be welcoming in. Up first, we've got Jaden Reed. The Westbury, New York native will be joining Northwestern for his junior season after 2 years at USF. Reed will provide a pivotal boost to the Wildcats roster as Collins will have a true point guard for the first time since Boo Buie's departure. Reed averaged 12.6 points and 3.6 assists for his sophomore year with the Bulls, shooting nearly 36% from beyond the arc. Despite his lack of size, Reed could serve as a great replacement for graduating senior Ty Berry, maintaining a similar skill set as a crafty guard who can shoot the leather off the ball. Reed will have the ball in his hands more than Berry will, but will still be able to be a guy they rely on from three-point land as well as to settle down the offense. And for a team that will have plenty of underclassmen in the rotation, it will be important for Collins to have a more experienced guy manning the backcourt. Now, second up is Max Green. A transfer from Holy Cross, Green played just 1 year in Worcester, Massachusetts before making his way to the Midwest. But even in that short amount of time, the Kentucky prospect absolutely showed out. Green averaged nearly 15 points and 6 rebounds a night on his way to shooting 38% from 3, a ridiculous clip, on his way to earning Patriot League Rookie of the Year honors. Now making the transition to the high majors, Green will have to step up on the defensive end. But his 6'6" frame provides him with the intangibles to do so. It was obvious Chris Collins was looking for a way to amp up Northwestern's poor long-range shooting. The Cats shot just 33.3% from 3 this season, and Green gives them that. But his potential shines even brighter. With at least 3 more years in Evanston, Green could develop into a bona fide star for NU. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Miguel. We sure look forward to seeing these new Wildcats suit up for Collins' squad in the fall.
Women's golf traveled to the great state of Maryland last weekend for the Big Ten Championships at Bull Rock Golf Course. As a team, the Cats finished 5th at 10 over par. The only team to finish below par on the weekend was 5th-ranked Oregon with an impressive 12 under finish. On the individual side, first-year Sin Tai Lin recorded a top 5 finish with a score of 2 under par, only 5 strokes off the top spot. Ashley Yoon and Diana Lee finished at 2 and 3 over par respectively to round out the Cats' top 20 finishers. Yesterday's selection committee saw Northwestern in the Norman Regional. The Cats will visit Norman, Oklahoma next month to take on Big Ten rivals Michigan State and powerhouse Stanford, among others. Northwestern is hoping to top the field of 12 and advance to the NCAA championships in California.
Northwestern went on a road trip out west to close out the regular season against Big Ten debutantes Washington and Oregon. The first matchup was in Seattle on Friday, where the Cats took on the 39th-ranked Huskies. The visitors lost the doubles point and never recovered, getting swept 4-0. The following contest on Sunday against the Ducks proved to also cause the Cats issues. Northwestern Wildcats showed some fight with Chad Miller earning a singles point, but the Cats were unable to stop Oregon from ultimately storming to a 4-1 win. Despite ending the regular season on a 3-game skid, Northwestern squeaked into the Big Ten tournament as the 10th and final seed in the bracket. The Cats traveled to Columbus for a first-round matchup with 7th seed Michigan this afternoon, looking to flip the script after a 4-0 regular season loss on April 6th. Unfortunately for the Cats, they suffered the same fate in the postseason today, getting swept by Michigan. Northwestern ends their season with a 12-17 overall record.
The number 50 ranked Northwestern women's tennis team capitalized on their final regular season road trip, sweeping number 60 ranked Purdue and Indiana to secure their spot in the Big Ten tournament. On Saturday, the Wildcats overcame losing the doubles point to defeat Purdue 4-1 with straight set single victories from Brittany Lau, Autumn Rabjohns, and Sydney Pratt, and Kylie Rabjohns as well. Sunday's match saw Northwestern take control early by winning doubles before claiming a 4-2 win over Indiana, highlighted by Pratt's second straight set win of the weekend, and Nina Feldman's 3-set clincher at number 2 singles. These victories earned the Wildcats the number 10 seed in the Big Ten tournament, where they'll face number 7 seed Illinois in the opening round this Wednesday in Ojai, California.
You'll want to stay tuned because when we come back, we'll catch up with softball and their recent triumphs on the diamond as they head into the weekend on a 5-game win streak.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, go!
All right, Gabi, about 11 minutes left till the start of the draft. I'm getting really, really amped right now.
Calvin, please. We still have a show to get through here.
You're right. My bad. We got some diamond sports to get to.
Northwestern baseball headed into last weekend looking to snap a 3-game losing streak as they faced off against Nebraska in a series on the road and then traveled back home to face UIC in a midweek matchup. Let's see how they fared. Baseball headed to Lincoln to face the Cornhuskers this past weekend, looking to win their 3rd Big Ten series and to avenge their midweek loss to NIU. The Cats up early in Game 1, and they're about to extend that lead. Hot shot off the bat of Ryan Kucherak for his first of 2 bombs on the day as NU offense gets rolling. All tied in the 9th due to some pitching woes, but Bennett Markinson comes through with a go-ahead 2 RBI single. Cats win 9-7. Game 2 was a nightmare early as the pitching staff dug a hole. Jacob Hand slaps a single for the Cats' 4th and final run of the day as they lose 14-4 via the run rule. Northwestern trying to avoid the shutout in Game 2 of Saturday's doubleheader, and Ryan Kucherak would answer the call. His hot streak continues with an RBI double to the corner to get the Cats on the board and start the crawl back from their 4-0 deficit in the 7th. The righty Griffin Mills will pinch hit as the Cats start to run low on outs, and he drives one deep to the right and gone. The Northwestern bullpen is loving it as Mills goes yard for the second time this season, giving the Cats some hope in the later innings. But it would be indeed too little too late for the Wildcats. Blake McMillan completed his 4th and 3rd inning 2-run relief appearance, but the offense fell short as Nebraska wins 5-2, taking the series. The Cats will look to rebound back home the following Tuesday against UIC.
Northwestern looked to bounce back with the Tuesday home matchup versus UIC. Bottom of the 3rd, Owen McElpatrick up at the plate, and he blasts one over the left field fence. His 6th homer of the year ties this one up at 2. The Cats would take the lead in the 6th, but Ryan Kucherak wasn't satisfied. No doubter from the star sophomore gives Northwestern a 3-run lead. But the Flames hadn't been exhausted yet. Luke Nowak flies one to shallow left. Preston Knott squares it up. Will Flanagan tagging at 3rd. Knott is offline, and UIC ties it up at 6th in the 8th. Bottom of the 9th, with Northwestern just needing 1 run to win, grad transfer Jacob Hand wastes no time. He goes Oppo Taco for the walk-off dinger, his first as a Wildcat. Northwestern wins a midweek thriller, 7-6. Coming off their walk-off winner, the Cats look to make some noise at home this weekend as they face off against the Washington Huskies for the first time since 2002.
After dropping their previous series to the number 23rd ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers, Northwestern softball looked to bounce back in Big Ten play against Rutgers last weekend and then return to non-conference play, facing off against UIC. So let's head to Piscataway first, where Northwestern played its weekend series at Rutgers Softball Complex. Kaylee Avasado at the plate in the top of the 1st, and she sends a swinging bunt down the 3rd baseline. Grace Nito scampers home as the Wildcats take a 1-0 lead. Up 3, looking to extend the lead, Kansas Robinson gets all of this pitch and sends it over the right center field wall for a 2 RBI homer. The Cats added 1 run in the 3rd and took Game 1 6-0. But the Scarlet Knights wouldn't go down that easy. Game 2, top of the 1st, Georgia Engel hits a blooper to 3rd base, and the Cats can't make the play. Rutgers takes a 1-0 lead. That advantage didn't last long. Bridget Donahue turns on 1 and sends a line drive just over the left field wall. Game all tied at 1. 4th inning now, Nito stays off the rise ball and walks in the lead, taking run. The Cats held on and took Game 2 4-2. These Cats were clawing for the sweep. Kelsey Nader in the top of the 3rd, and she sends this pitch over the wall in the right field. The only home run in what would be a high-scoring game. Cats up 2, and Nader is pumped. Looking to take a coveted 8-run lead in the 4th, Emma Ray pokes it down the middle of the field. Robinson comes sliding, and the hit scores 2 runs. The Northwestern defense was stout all day and only allowed 1 hit. The Cats took Game 3 11-0 in just 5 innings and secured the series sweep.
This past Tuesday, softball headed down into the city to face off against crosstown foe UIC. The Cats controlled every aspect of this contest, run-ruling the Flames in 5 innings as Riley Grzelanic threw her first career no-hitter. After both teams went scoreless in the first 2 innings, Avery Garden launched a homer in the 3rd to give NU the first score of the game. The Cats scored 1 more in the inning off a Kaylee Avasado single before erupting for 8 runs in the 4th. Meanwhile, on the pitching side, Grzelanic was absolutely lights out, retiring batter after batter. After 5 innings, Northwestern secured the victory via an 11-0 run rule, with Grzelanic notching her first career no-hitter. The Cats will be back in action this weekend when they host Wisconsin for a 3-game series in Evanston.
And here's how you can catch the Cats.
Men's golf competes in the Big Ten Championship all weekend long.
Baseball takes on Washington in a Big Ten series that kicks off Friday afternoon.
And lacrosse begins postseason play against Johns Hopkins on Friday afternoon. Don't go anywhere, because when Sports Nights returns, we'll have some plays of the week right before the top of the draft.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Calvin? Calvin, where are you? The show hasn't ended yet.
What? Draft night is starting. You want some?
No, we still have plays of the week.
Right.
At number 3 for Northwestern softball, top of the second inning, Bridget Donahue almost crushes the pitch to tie the score 1-1. The Cats swept Rutgers 3-0.
At number 2 for Northwestern lacrosse, free position for Maddie Taylor. She hits it from range for her 6th goal of the game in front of the largest Northwestern lacrosse crowd in history.
And at number 1, it's baseball. It's the bottom of the 9th. It's Jacob Hand who swings for the fences. Is it a home run? It is. Walk-off homer for Hand. Northwestern beats UIC 7-6 and shakes off the tough series against Nebraska over the weekend.
Well, Gabi, it's been real. I've had a great time on desk, and I think it's safe to say I've learned a lot about you. First, you don't like draft night as much as I do, and your favorite team in the NBA is about to face a first-round exit, maybe even a sweep.
Thanks, Calvin. I couldn't have done it without you. Some would say our show is competing amongst ESPN and NFL Network right now for the best pre-draft show.
No doubt about that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at @NNN_sports and on X at NNN Sports.
For Calvin Lemley and our entire crew at SportsNight, I'm Gabi Egozi, sending you off to Green Bay. We'll see you next week. Have a great night.